Video posted on social media shows a man frustrated by a sideshow at 34th and Adeline in West Oakland. He hits one of the cars spinning donuts around him and is then attacked, punched, kicked repeatedly, even while lying on the ground. The victim appears to be unconscious. You can still hear tires screeching as he lies motionless on the sidewalk. At the same sideshow, this Mustang ran into and sheared off a fire hydrant. Nia Navarro, who's visiting Oakland from out of state, sympathizes with the man who tried to stop the mayhem.
If he's fed up, he should speak up, right? But I don't like to get involved with that. I don't recommend people get involved with that.
And please do not, interfere. Let the police officers respond to that effort.
But for officers to respond, there has to be enough of them, or else they'll be outnumbered. This video shows an Oakland officer driving slowly through a sideshow of dirt bikes and ATVs at 42nd and International in East Oakland. The officer takes off while being escorted away by bikers. Oakland City Council member Noel Gallo says he and residents are beyond frustrated. The council rejected his proposal to go after spectators. He's still trying to go after promoters and participants.
We're not trying to criminalize. We're trying to protect the residents of Oakland. We're just trying to enforce the laws that we have and make it not only safe for the community, but also safe for the individuals that are involved in the sideshow.
It seems like no part of the city is immune. This video shows people caravanning in dirt bikes, ATVs, and cars on both sides of International. Here, cars and bikes at another sideshow took over Lakeshore and Hanover at the edge of Lake Merritt. And this sideshow took place at 5th Avenue and East 10th Street.
The sideshow activity appears to hit a new level with a big rig at the center of cheering crowds in Oakland. Reports tonight of sideshows popping up late last night and early this morning in at least 5 locations. You can see there how they were all spread out over Oakland.
Stunning video shows a big rig doing donuts during an illegal sideshow in Oakland, while a crowd cheers and several spectators jump on the back. This happened sometime Friday night or early Saturday morning. Oakland police say they are investigating several sideshows throughout the city during those overnight hours, including one on Keller Avenue and Mountain Boulevard, another near the Grand Lake Theater, and at around 1:15 a.m., a large gathering along Hagenberger Road.
This has to end. There's no explanation, justification why I got to be out there destroying the neighborhood and creating safety issues for myself. It makes no sense.
City Council member Noel Gallo said residents are fed up with the noise, the crowds, and the ugly tire marks left behind. He said the city is spending millions to repair the roads just to have them torn apart by these reckless events.
I saw it down my street. What happened? I heard it last night.
Back in December, Gallo put forward a proposal to crack down on all those participating in sideshows. The drivers, those who advertise the events, those who block the roads, even the spectators. That idea was shot down by the city council.
My council felt very strongly that, we didn't want to cite the spectators. So I said, well, that's fine.
Gallo said this coming week he's reintroducing the plan with some tweaks. This time the focus will be on citing the promoters and the drivers.
It's gotten worse and worse and worse.
Nate Miley, the president of the Alameda County Board of Supervisors, said he has watched sideshow popularity escalate in the past several years. He's worried someone will get hurt or killed.
I really feel that it's very unfortunate that this type of lawless behavior continues to occur in this county and, quite frankly, throughout the region. It's despicable, in fact.
Miley said when nobody is arrested, it erodes the public's confidence in law enforcement. He wants those who participate to be held accountable, face fines or jail time, and have vehicles towed. Miley also thinks it's time for a statewide task force.
We need to have a statewide task force that's looking at the sideshows and that really brings about some consequences for organizing these events and for people participating in the events and for people watching these events because they're actually watching illegal behavior.
Meanwhile, Oakland police responded to a sideshow right down the street just a few hours earlier. This one happened about 10:45 last night, 10th and Fallon Streets, and likely connected to the one we just mentioned with the car on fire. This initial sideshow lasted 15 minutes before officers arrived and tried blocking off the crowd. The photographer who recorded this video says there were hundreds of spectators and cars on the scene. And there was yet another sideshow in the community of Crockett in the area of San Pablo Avenue and Merchant Street there. Cars in the crowd took over that intersection as drivers did donuts in the middle of the street. This sideshow lasted about half an hour before the cars went to Oakland for the sideshows we've already shown.
But no matter how much they say they're cracking down, we still see scenes like this one. Fireworks going off and cars lit on fire. And business owners in the area say they are fed up.
This is what the corner of 10th and Oak Streets in Oakland looked like this Saturday morning. But last night, a completely different and chaotic scene. This is the exact moment when a sideshow turned into a war zone. You can see how a car was set on fire. It all happened around 1 a.m. right across the street from the Oakland Museum of California. Naren Kuma is the manager of Corner Grocery, located just a few steps away from the scene.
When I came in the early morning, then I'm in the store, then someone told me that what happened there in outside.
Naren told me that he saw a lot of police activity and the burnt car was there. He says incidents like these are not new, but he's glad he closed the store before midnight last night.
Yeah, it's scared now, it's scared.
Oakland police responded to the sideshow activity and set up a perimeter of several blocks around the place. As crowds watched the vehicle burn, a masked individual was seen getting into a Subaru, which he then used to ram the burning vehicle. The police say there were multiple illegal sideshows throughout the city last night. We contacted them for an interview, but they provided a statement saying that it's all part of an investigation after receiving multiple calls reporting the chaos, and they are working to identify those responsible for the violence and property damage. Meanwhile, Naren tells me now they would have to deal with all of this mess on the streets, hoping it won't happen again.
Now look at this from late Friday night. Several cars spinning donuts across all lanes eastbound on the Bay Bridge, and traffic backed up as people stood around the sideshow. The CHP hasn't said if arrests were made or if any citations were issued. And in Brentwood, this is what it was like on Sand Creek Road near Highway 4 early yesterday. Witnesses say this illegal sideshow went on for 90 minutes before the Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office broke it up. There's no word yet about any arrests.
Cell phone video captured this illegal sideshow on San Francisco's Embarcadero late Friday night. A large crowd is seen gathered near Pier 1 next to the ferry building, while several vehicles do donuts and other stunts, completely blocking the road.
Very noisy, and I was cold and screaming to my friends saying, "Oh my God, this is crazy."
Neighbor Prasanna Palaka shot this video. She said she was trying to sleep when around 11:30 p.m. she heard the sound of screeching tires and went outside to investigate.
Never saw this ever before in person, but I was worried because some cars were almost pushed into the crowd. The crowd went bigger, larger.
Palaka said this continued for about 30 minutes. About an hour later, this happened. A second sideshow, this time in the eastbound lanes of the Bay Bridge. In this video posted on social media, roughly 100 spectators were seen lining the span. Some vandalized the bridge by spraying graffiti. A spokesman with the California Highway Patrol said they received calls just before 1 a.m. and responding officers got stuck in the traffic caused by this sideshow. By the time they arrived, the group dispersed. Monday, remnants of the sideshows could still be seen. Aerial video from Sky Fox shows tire marks all over the eastern span of the Bay Bridge just past the tunnel. And in San Francisco, similar marks now cover the street near Pier 1.
It's definitely toxic.
Palaka said almost everyone she saw was young, and she's worried next time somebody could get hurt.
Publicity or the fame they get out of it, which is honestly dangerous. It could be fun in different ways, but not really a healthy one. It's similar to something that you're putting your life at risk to just entertain.
At least 3 sideshows took place in San Jose Sunday night with tires screeching. San Jose police say with the help of the air unit relaying information from above, they flooded the areas in a coordinated police response. Resident J.C. lives nearby and says the sideshow was very disruptive.
Me and my wife were sleeping like around maybe 11:30. He was just barking, wop, 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 wop. A bunch of tire smoke and just sound woke us up, and the family and all that. Just heard a bunch of sirens too.
In the end, San Jose police say they arrested 3 suspects for fleeing or evading police, 1 for a felony warrant, 21 spectators were cited, and 3 vehicles were impounded. In Oakland, spectators were seen actually lighting a fire underneath Interstate 880. This sideshow was at 6th and Market. The ring of fire burned as people seemed to jump through it and cars spun in circles. And in San Francisco, dozens of people lined the street for an illegal sideshow in the Mission District. It shut down the intersection of 16th and Dolores. A red convertible with several people inside was spinning donuts in a large circle, coming close to spectators. Back in San Jose, one of the sideshows took place at Almaden and Kurtner. San Jose police provided these still photos. And earlier in the evening at Lundy and Concourse to the west of Highway 680, a sideshow there lasted for about 15 minutes. It's not known if the same group or a different group then took part in a sideshow that occurred later near Alum Rock and White on the city's east side. San Jose police are making use of ordinances that allow them to arrest not just the actual drivers, but also spectators at these events, and even those that encourage others to attend through social media. Last year, the Oakland City Council looked at copying San Jose's ordinance, but this week, Councilman Noel Gallo will introduce a new sideshow ordinance which does not include penalties for spectators.
Well, my city council members felt that, we're going to be in violation or make mistakes by targeting people that were just happen to be walking by the sideshow, and we didn't want to make that mistake.
A web of tire marks on Stockton Sutter Street and on the northbound lanes of I-5 are what's left over from sideshows that shut traffic down on Sunday.
Some juveniles decided they were going to engage in some dangerous behavior and started doing donuts and some reckless driving behavior there on I-5.
CHP officials say they received multiple calls from citizens on Sunday afternoon reporting multiple cars driving recklessly on the freeway.
When they do it just kind of spare of the moment, it messes up the flow of traffic and things like that, kind of cause a big disruption.
Traffic was stopped for roughly 8 minutes before CHP units arrived and the drivers fled the scene.
We don't yet have any identification on any of these persons yet. We do have one person in custody out of this event.
Earlier that day, authorities say those vehicles were seen doing donuts and blocking traffic at an intersection on Sutter Street and MLK Boulevard.
They think that they're these great drivers, but it doesn't take much to lose control of the vehicle. Or maybe there's a mechanical failure, a tire blows out, and now they've lost control of this vehicle. And then we've got these bystanders that are essentially participating by cheering, are now in danger.
Residents say these types of sideshows aren't uncommon throughout the city.
I see them everywhere. It's kind of like a trend that, the younger crowd kind of tends to do.
But they hope drivers will reconsider these dangerous stunts.
Hey, if the city opened up a big old parking lot, we wouldn't have no problem like this. Like the fairgrounds, for instance. Open the fairgrounds up for the weekend.
Authorities say the drivers in these incidents could face criminal charges.
They could also be looking about an impoundment of their vehicle. We could be taking their vehicle for up to 30 days for engaging in this type of behavior, along with those criminal charges, fines and fees.
This is drone video showing San Jose police blocking in all the sideshow participants and spectators from 4 different directions so they couldn't drive off. San Jose police wrote everyone a ticket. We'll come back to this massive crackdown. Let's go back to the beginning. Started around 11:20 Saturday night. Hundreds of cars and people blocked off the intersection of Virginia and 7th Streets. It was a chaotic scene with fireworks, laser beams, and 4 cars spinning donuts all at the same time. After a while, they left this intersection and eventually made their way to the intersection of Monterey Highway and Brenham Lane.
It was loud. It woke me up, yeah. The cars are braking and turning around and moving fast. It was kind of squeaky.
As they were having their fun, San Jose police were coordinating their strategy to block them in. Once the police closed off every escape route, they moved in
and the drivers try to move out. They didn't get very far. San Jose police say they detained about 500 cars, participants and spectators. They wrote 720 tickets, most of those tickets for spectating. They called the parents for 82 minors. They impounded at least 20 cars for participating, which will cost $3,000 to $4,000 to get each one back. Police also recovered this ghost gun.
This is new. Hooray for San Jose PD. That seems to be a new course of action, and thank you to the city of San Jose.
Christy Hughes is fed up with the sideshows. She lives next to the intersection.
Hopefully this is going to send a message that's like, look, don't come down here.
Oakland has a bigger sideshow problem than San Jose. Some question why Oakland, San Francisco, and other cities don't go after the spectators. One Oakland officer tells me that's because San Jose and Antioch are the only two Bay Area cities that have a law to cite spectators.
I am surprised that Oakland hasn't had that law put in yet, because they've had the problem for years.
Oakland's Public Safety Committee plans to look at the idea of citing spectators on Tuesday and eventually send a proposal to the City Council. As for San Jose residents, they're happy with the tough crackdown.
I feel good, so people won't watch anymore to encourage them.